I hope you have had a wonderful day. I don't know where you are, whether it is morning or noon or evening, but as we proceed, I hope you will receive God's blessings. Welcome to today's session where we are looking at the wicked men prospering while the righteous are suffering. We want to understand, what does God say? What is the Bible's viewpoint about wicked men? The counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits on the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the way of the Lord. I repeat, David says this, and it is the word of God, and I believe so. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor makes himself comfortable in the seat of scoffers. But he only thinks about the way of the Lord. What do we mean by blessings? We mean the person is happy, maybe prosperous, maybe is contented with what is happening around him. At least, probably, to the ordinary person, he may think he can afford a smile. He's godly. But what does the Bible say about the wicked again? And what do we look around and we see how people behave? The first thing a person is able to notice is that the wicked men prosper. Even David talked about the wicked men prospering. Why should a wicked man prosper and a righteous man is suffering? And we are saying, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor walks in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. Maybe it would have been, I believe you have not seen it. So, these wicked men prospering, how do we understand this? What does it mean? How does it come about? I'm not the only one who asks about this. I'm not the only one who has been worried about the wicked men prospering. Even the prophets of God were disturbed by this statement. It is something which is always disturbing the people who, and this is what he writes about the wicked. If we look at the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, and I want to begin from verse 1. It says this: You are always righteous, O Lord, when I bring a case before you. Yet I would speak with you about your justice. In this way, it's as if he wants to say, there's something which I have noticed, which I don't understand, or which I want you to explain how it comes about. Then he begins, why does the way of the wicked prosper? Why do all the faithless live at ease? You have planted them, and they have taken root. That means you are no longer able to deal with them, whoever it is, not necessarily God. That these wicked have been planted, of course, by God, according to Jeremiah. That's verse 2. And he adds that after being planted by the Lord, these wicked have now taken root, so that it is not easy to deal with these wicked people. They grow and bear fruit. You are always on their lips, but far from their hearts. They are always talking about God, but they are not interested with God. It's not their interest. It's not part of their objectives to think about the Lord. This wicked. Verse 3. Yet you know me, O Lord. You see me and test my thoughts about you. So, he's trying to compare himself. He's putting himself on a balance. I am a prophet of God. I live by your counsel. I worship you. I follow your ways. I'm supposed to be the man in Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. But now the blessings that I see seem to be on the wicked and of slaughter. How long? How long? That's what the prophet is saying. How long, that Jeremiah, a prophet of God, how long will the land lie parched and the grass in every field be withered? Because those who live in it are wicked, and the animals and birds have perished. Moreover, the people are saying, he will not see what happens to us. Who is this he? He will not see. He, who is this he that will not be able to see? That is God. Somebody who can reach the point of even believing that the Lord cannot see him. Obviously, it cannot be somebody near the Lord. A man of God knows very well that God is creator and sustainer and is the owner of the universe and he sees everything and nothing happens without his control. But now there are these people who always say that he will not see us. That is verse 4, the last part of it. He will not see what happens to us. Obviously, I believe this is not what Jeremiah is saying. Jeremiah does not believe that God has some things which he will not be able to see. So this is not a statement from Jeremiah. Jeremiah is quoting the wicked, that the wicked say, he will not see us. Yet they continue their way at ease, they prosper, they live without any worries, according to him. And he adds that God has planted them and they have taken root. He wants an answer from the Lord. I want an answer. According to what he says, he uses the word. Jeremiah, when he's complaining about the Lord, he says, when I bring a case before you, yes, that the Lord is always righteous. When I bring a case before you. And he's using another statement, the statement which follows that says, yet I would speak with you about your justice. Connect this statement. He's saying, you are always righteous, O Lord, when I bring a case before you. Yet I would speak with you about your justice. What does that statement mean? He's trying to say, the Lord, you are always righteous. But now I have something which I am not comfortable with, or which I don't believe about your justice. There's something which I don't understand about your justice. There's something which, to me, is not correct about your justice. And he begins by saying, why does the way of the wicked prosper? Why do all these faithless live at ease? Now, this is what God is answering Jeremiah. In verse 5, God's answer. If you have rest with men on foot and they have worn you out, how can you compete with the horses? The Lord is saying to Jeremiah that even this wicked that you are contending with, even this problem that you are worried about, you have not yet seen it all. This problem that is bothering you about the wicked prospering is just half of the problem, or a quarter, or a very small fraction of that problem. You have not yet seen the real problem. You are complaining about the wicked prospering, which is equivalent to running with men, with your colleagues. And remember, they are men, you are also a man like them, but they are ordinary people, and you are a prophet of God. You are different. So he's telling Jeremiah, I'm planning for you a race with men on foot and they have worn you out. How will you race with the horses? Your war has not yet reached the climax. You have just begun the battle. You have just begun the struggle. It is just the beginning. You are already complaining. You are talking about the wicked prospering while the righteous are suffering. And yet, you are yet to see greater things. You have rest with men on foot, and they have worn you out. No rest, you know how people go to run. After running, of course, you will be breathing very hard as you run, and it will not be very easy to close your mouth because you need a lot of air at that particular time, and probably your tongue is out. But that's normal when your mouth is probably out. You run very fast, you are tired. But to be worn out is not ordinary tiredness. In this case, a normal athlete, when you are running, of course, you need a lot of air. You breathe very hard. If it is a very strenuous exercise, maybe your mouth may open. But when he says, you have run with men on foot and they have worn you out, it is not ordinary opening of your mouth that you are tired. Maybe even we can say the tongue, you are now not able to put it back properly. You are exhausted completely. Yet your race has not yet begun. You are supposed to run with horses. That's what the Lord says. You have been defeated by men and have prepared you to run with horses. The race with the horses is about to begin, and men have defeated you. What does the second statement say? If you stumble in safe country, how will you manage in the thickets by the Jordan? You are walking on the road. You are walking maybe in a field which only has grass. You walk there and you stumble. You are having trouble. People can see you falling down while walking, and you are on a road. And the Lord is telling Jeremiah that your walking is yet to become tough. I'm about to take you to the thickets of the Jordan. Maybe let me not add my own words. Let me say this. The Lord is saying, if you stumble in the safe country, let's say a road or in the field, and yet soon you are supposed to walk in the thickets of the Jordan. How he'll get to the thickets of Jordan, that's a different story. Whether it will be by temptation, whether he will be enticed himself to go, or if the Lord is going to take him there, that's not the subject of this story at the moment. But what the Lord is telling Jeremiah is that soon afterwards, you are supposed to go to the thickets of the Jordan. And you are stumbling on the road. How will you survive these thickets? Finally, he tells him like this: your brothers, your own family, even they have betrayed you. They have raised a loud cry against you. So the challenges, God is telling us that there is something more. There is something which we are not seeing, which we need to see. Even though we know that it is true, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits on the seat of scoffers. These blessings refer to the man of God. Now that is blessed. Remember, being contented is a great gain according to the Bible. The man of God may have or may not have, or may have some little, but that little that you have with contentment is great gain. So we look at a wicked man having a lot of material, and we see them as if they are blessed. Well, these wicked people have material, but the material does not necessarily mean blessings. In fact, the material a wicked man has may just bring more concerns to him, more worries. It is good to have material with contentment, even if it is little. It is great blessing and great gain when you are contented with what you have. And the Lord tells us there is something that we are anticipating. It is to our advantage, the condition which we are in at the moment, so that we be able to face the future. That Jeremiah is worried about running with men, but he is expected to run with horses. Trusting in the Lord, he will surely go with the horses and be able to race with them. But if he focuses his eyes on the wicked, he'll now start wondering about the justice of the Lord and start challenging it, saying that yet I would want to speak about your justice. Now he has forgotten that the Lord is faithful and just. He's thinking about the wicked prospering and now challenging the justice of the Lord. But now, if we trust in the Lord, he knows that right now we are racing with men. Tomorrow we are supposed to race with the horses. By his grace, we'll be able to overcome. Let us meet in the next episode. Welcome. If you are enjoying our episodes, click like and subscribe, and let's meet next time. Thank you.